Hiking can boost your immune system and fight against sickness. Bearfoot Theory wants people to enjoy nature and outdoor activities. Hiking is a terrific way to get started with outdoor experiences and exercise. Europe is popular for hiking, so let's talk about the best mountain hikes in Europe. Here's my list of some of Europe's best hiking destinations. The Tour du Mont Blanc is the first on this list. The Tour du Mont Blanc is without a doubt one of the best hikes in Europe and the world. It goes through some of the most beautiful parts of France, Italy, and Switzerland as it winds through the mountains and valleys of the Western Alps. And not just because it has beautiful views of the highest mountain in the area. Even though it's hard on your body, it's a great way to see some of the most beautiful parts of the continent in less than 2 weeks. The hike will take you from Chamonix, which is in the southeast of France, all the way to Courmayeur, which is in the north of Italy. Even so, the climb takes 11 days, which means that the route can be changed. Even though the hike usually goes around the whole Mont Blanc Massif in a counterclockwise direction, it has many different routes that are sure to please even the pickiest hikers. And if that wasn't enough, the hotels on the Tour du Mont Blanc are a real treat. They range from rustic mountain huts to boutique hotels to high-end ski resorts. The second choice is to take the Walker's Haute route. The Walker's Haute route from Chamonix to Zermatt, also called the Mont Blanc to the Matterhorn or La Haute route, amazes everyone who takes the 2-week trip because the scenery changes so much and it goes by a few glaciers that are higher than 4,000 meters. During this long and hard journey, the snow-capped mountains, green valleys, and European towns that look like they came straight out of a fairy tale give the eyes a chance to rest. All of these places are in France and Switzerland. In the middle of the 19th century, a group of real mountaineers from England walked and skied along the route for the first time. They left a trail for the modern challenge, which is best done in the summer. The third place goes to the Tour de Monte Rosa. It will take you up and down the Renaissance trails and give you the best views of the beautiful 4,000-meter peaks. The Monte Rosa, whose name means glacier in Italian, is a beautiful backdrop for the climb. Leonardo da Vinci was the first person to see it in the early 1500s. It is a hike across a beautiful snow kingdom, but the best time to see it is in the summer, preferably after July. The fourth choice is to take the West Highland Way. The majestic and beautiful Scottish Highlands are where the West Highland Way hike takes place. This hike seems to be getting even more popular than it was before. The trail goes from Milngavie, which is outside of Glasgow, to Fort William, which is home to the famous Ben Nevis, the tallest mountain in Britain. Hikers will see some of the most beautiful and challenging sights along the way. You will be able to see some of Scotland's most beautiful natural landscapes, like its mysterious lochs, like Loch Lomond, luxurious heights and glens, peaceful moors, and stunning forests. Since you are going to hike to a fort, you should know about the military history in the area in the 18th century. Most of the roads in the area are real witnesses to some amazing historical events that happened there. At the end of the trail, you'll find the Jacobite steam train, also called the Hogwarts Express because it was in the Harry Potter movies. It will take you on a trip you'll never forget. It is common knowledge that the fall and winter months in this part of the country are cold, wet, and hostile. Because of this, the best time to go on this trip is between May and October. You should also stay away from the middle of summer because the midges are so annoying and hungry for blood. The Conglasden Trail is at the top of my list right now. The Conglasden Trail is the best route to take if you want to see the untouched, unspoiled natural beauty of the Nordic region. With its vast tundra plains and nearby mountains, severe Arctic summers, tiny dwarf pine trees, birch forests, and endless valleys, rivers, lakes, ponds, and glaciers. If you want to see all of this, the Conglasden Trail is the best route to take. It's possible that you'll still have a good time and be able to travel to Lapland even if you don't like the frigid winds and scenery that prevail during the nearly non-existent summers there. Even though it is the only really wild region in Western Europe, The train has many rustic cabins along each of the 110-kilometer climbs to make camping easier. These cabins may be found at various points along the trail. You can go from Abisko to Nikkaluokta using one of these routes, and along the way, you will get a view of Mount Kebnekaise, which is the highest point in all of Sweden. We recommend that you choose your hike depending on the climate zones you want to explore, or the nature reserves you want to visit in order to maximize your hiking experience. There will be a total of 4 nature reserves along the route, with the Vindalfjällen Nature Reserve being one of the most well-known and unquestionably the largest of the bunch. This nature reserve is home to a number of mountains in the Scandinavian range. The months of June through the beginning of September represent the hiking season that sees the greatest number of visitors. The middle of September is the second best time to go because most hikers from Europe have already returned home by this point, and there are less mosquitoes. The Camino de Santiago is the trail in last place on this list. The stunning Pyrenees, a mountain range that is very brief, but is particularly memorable due to its location along the Camino de Santiago, are traversed by pilgrims making their way to Santiago de Compostela. The Pyrenees are a mountain range that run along the border between France and the northern part of Spain. The little country of Andorra may be found right in the center of the mountain range. It used to be the path of choice for Catholic pilgrims, but nowadays it is a well-marked trail that any hiker interested in culture can follow. In the past, it was the most popular route for Catholic pilgrims. The Camino de Santiago, commonly known as the Way of St. James and the French Way, features some of the most breathtaking landscapes along its French Way. You will go through mountain valleys that are characterized by roaring rivers and peaks that are breathtaking to behold. Due to the fact that the trail has been there for such a long time, it passes by a number of significant cultural sites in the region. One of these is the stunning Cathedral of Santiago, which is an example of the well-known Gothic Baroque architectural style and was constructed in this manner. In the month of July, if you were to take the route that begins in Saint-Jean-Pied-de-Port and walk through the well-known town of Pamplona, you would be met by the spectacular Running of the Bulls Festival, which is reason enough to make the pilgrimage all by itself. From this location, it is possible to get to the coast, but the journey could take an additional 3 days. And that, dear viewers, is my list of the top mountain hiking destinations in Europe. I personally find all of the above places perfect for hiking. If you love to hike, don't die before visiting these areas. That's all for today, guys. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.